Living in one of the harshest places in the world, the Afar are one of the poorest ethnic groups in Ethiopia. 1 in 3 Afar children will die before the age of 5, and only 2% of the population can read and write. For centuries, the Afar have practiced female genital cutting. Girls are cut before the age of 12 in groups of 20, in a ceremony attended only by women. Although it's an important rite of passage in Afar culture, it often results in serious health problems and lasting emotional trauma. In the fall of 2004, I traveled to the Afar territory to document the work of CARE, an international humanitarian organization. When I arrived, I met Abay, a 28-year-old woman working for CARE. She offered to take me to a group of women who were shaping community decisions for the very first time.
We are the victim of this practice.
During our long and dusty ride through the desert, Abay told me her story. It was then that I began to realize that she was the heart of the changes in her community. When Abay turned 8, her mother announced it was time for her ceremony. Much to everyone's surprise, Abay said no. Her mother insisted. An Afar woman who had not been cut would be considered unclean and could never marry. When her mother's demands became unbearable, Abay ran away to live with her godfather in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa. Shortly after her 18th birthday and her graduation from school, Abay returned to her former village. Determined to help improve the health and education of her people, she applied for a job with CARE and asked to be stationed in Awash Fentali. Over the next 5 years working with CARE, Abay helped open a primary school and 3 health posts. She also oversaw the drilling of a well and began the community's first agricultural program. Very slowly, she gained the confidence of some of the women and began to discuss female genital cutting. It was a taboo to even discuss the subject. When word got out that Abay had the women talking about genital cutting, the reaction was violent. One man threatened Abay with a gun. He accused her of being paid to come back and destroy their culture. After that incident, Abay decided to take a different tack. She asked the women to allow one of the cutting ceremonies to be filmed. When the male elders saw the film, they were shocked. They had never seen a female cutting ceremony. They immediately called a special meeting. After 4 days of debate, they voted 15-2 to end the practice of female genital cutting in Awash Fentali. It was 4 years after that historic vote that I arrived with Abay in the Afar community. While being there with Abay, I witnessed another historic meeting. A meeting organized with CARE's help to elect the leaders of the Anti-Female Genital Cutting Association. Their agenda? To spread the message to the other Afar communities. Nearly 90 men and women packed the meeting hall. Women voiced their opinions, even challenging the men. At the end of the day, a woman was elected president of the association. Abay helped bridge a gap between Afar men and women that had existed for centuries. Traditionally, men made all the community decisions. Women were not even allowed to listen in on their meetings. By questioning genital cutting, Abay not only shed light on a harmful practice, she also demonstrated that women could and should contribute to decisions that determine the course of the community. Empowered with a voice in community affairs, women are changing the face of villages throughout the Afar territory. Today, one of Abay's many fans is her mother, who couldn't be more proud of the daughter who once defied her.